I purchased this small but impressive lot of ungraded and graded Walking Liberty half dollars, and I'm going to share them in this video. And while I'm sharing, we're going to look at how to identify a cleaned and original Walking Liberty half dollar. So stay tuned. But first, I want to share something with everyone over here on my CoinHelpU channel. I did a video yesterday on die cracks and if they're valuable, and I explained the difference between die cracks and scratches on coins and delaminations. I mean, high resolution images. The video has not done very well, but I really think that it's important that everyone watches this video. So I'm going to put a link to it in the description of this video, but it's very important because a lot of people are posting die cracks and they're confused about CUDs and they're confused about delaminations. This will help you a whole lot. So I'll definitely have that link. So I wanted to share that real fast before we look at these coins. Okay, I purchased all these walking half dollars from someone, and I'm going to attempt to show you, I'm using a different tripod. I'm going to try to show you more details. Now this coin on the top of this roll looks horrible. Now in person, it doesn't look too bad, but you're looking at it highly magnified, as I tell you in every video. But this was probably sold as a BU roll, okay? And you can see these are actually AU coins, and they have been either dipped too much or they were dipped because they were circulated. This is what you get when you mess with circulated coins. This is what they look like. You can see the reverse of this. And it's not that they're horrible. Like I said, they're not as bad as the video showing them, but they are cleaned. As you can see in the background, we have some very nice Walking Liberty half dollars. And here's a couple and one out of the roll. They're both AU. And you can tell the difference in an original AU and a clean dipped over messed with coins, like I call it. Now looking at the reverses of the coins here, you can tell this is a higher AU than this one. But it's got some circulation on it. This one here most certainly has. They just picked, anything that looked probably high extra fine to low AU and dipped them out. I know a lot of people, we look at these coins here and we can look at them really close. And we can focus in and look at each coin, and you can see that a lot of these are just original. They're really nice coins. There was a few of them that were in holders and they had a little PVC on it. This is one of them. So I had to restore it a little bit. It's a very nice coin. Now when you're grading these, you want to look down the gown, right down the middle, the center mass. Look at over the breast, the gown flaps there, and that's where you're looking for most of the marks are going to be, and also where the wear would be. But sometimes you'll have rubs over the breast area and sometimes over the hands weakly struck, and also and it's just one of the areas you want to look at. This one here unfortunately has a huge scratch on it. Now it's not something it's something you could hide in the images, but so you have to watch out for that too, because of the design does kind of hide marks. Kind of look at this one here. Looks like it has some clean marks in the fields. This 45 here. And they're just really nice coins. I'm not going to show every single one of them, but we do have some earlier in the 30s. It's pretty cool. But some of these are they're just blazers. They're really nice coins. And also, when you're looking at these, you want to look at the breast feathers here, because sometimes it'll show a weakness or rubbing, or that's where some of the wear is at, one of the higher points, and also on the top of the wings here. That's why I always recommend buying Making the Grade by Coin World. It's an excellent book on grading to add to your library. So this one here is a 29. Now we're going to take a look at this one a little bit closer. It's AU, maybe AU 50 in that range. And to me, I think it's been cleaned at one time. But it is a really nice coin, a 29D. There's the mint mark. You can see the mint mark. And here's some in the 30s. This one looks like it might be uncirculated, 1934. 1934. And so when you get back into the 30s and 20s, they become extremely rare in AU. Also, another thing, when they are have the S or D mint mark and they're mint state, they tend to be worth a little bit more. Not so much in the 40s, but some of them in the 40s are. Like a 41S is worth a little bit more. I think the 47s are as well. This is what happens when you don't select details grade, for them to holder at details. They'll send it in this is what they call a body bag. This one has altered surfaces. So I kind of keep this back as an example of altered surfaces when people bring coins in and they're like, I don't think it's clean. How do you know it's clean? Well, you can put it side by side to an original coin. And the ones I've shown you here, most of them are original. They might have a little bit of an issue, but they're not that bad. They're pretty much original. And then I showed you the clean roll. This one here has obviously got problems. It has an odd, dull appearance. And not all of them look like this, but this would be your altered surface here versus the ones I showed you that were over dipped and cleaned that were already circulated. Then I want to show you some of the graded coins we have. This is a 34S AU58. Like I said, some people might pass this off as uncirculated, and it's pretty close. And here's the reverse. Sometimes it's a little bit of an off collar on the breast feathers or even over top of the breast here, and then down through here you can see some of the wear. But see, AU58 should only have just a very, very slight amount of wear on the highest of high points on the coin. It's not always the case when I examine these, but it's supposed to be. And here we have a 1935S, and this one was sent off. It's cleaned, it has details, and you can tell that's cleaned. It almost looks like the altered surface version. And almost, when it comes to this coin here and also the coin that's in the body bag there, what I call it, they almost look worse. They just have they have more detail, but they look worse than the ones that were ever dipped in that roll. So I see why the appeal of buying those coins, even if they might be cleaned. Then we have a 36, and this one got the mint state 65. See little dots and things on it. It's hard to tell whether that could have been someone that sneezed, breathed on it, who knows. But it most certainly started toning up after it was graded, I'm sure. And it could have been sent off like that too. And here's the reverse of it. It's really nice. Just a beautiful coin. This is a very beautiful design. Really, I would like to see them use this reverse eagle, at least a version of it on modern coins. And here's a 37, mint state 63. And honestly, when you look at these, it's almost splitting hairs trying to figure out the differences between the grades, 63 and 64. And I've got an example of a PCGS mint state 66 and an ICG mint state 66 that's going to surprise some of you, I believe. It surprised me a little bit. Then we have another 37, and this one here is toned, and that's actually kind of attractive toning on it. Here's the mint state 64, but yeah, it's got some attractive toning, as you can see. And I use my overhead lighting here because it gives me the best lighting. Sometimes it interferes when I've got something plastic, but honestly, you wouldn't be able to see it this well if it wasn't for the lighting above. It shows the almost correct collar. 1938. And this one here is a pretty nice coin, mint state 62. Like I said, when you're grading these, you always want to turn them in the light. You really don't have to use any magnification, and if you do, it shouldn't be more than 5x. We're looking at them, they're huge on this screen. So you guys are seeing all of the little details that you normally wouldn't see on a coin. That's what you want to do here. Then you have the reverse. And like I said, when they're mint state, the reverses on these are just, they're stunners to me. I really enjoy the reverse of these coins. And here's a 1938, a mint state 62. And I know that the platinum eagles, they do use different reverses there. They have in the past. I don't keep up so much on the mint stuff, the mint releases much, unless it's something like the Morgan Dollars or maybe a proof set or something. I'm just not into it. So if they've used this reverse on something, then I've not noticed it. It might, on the remake version, the gold version, I know that. This one is another 38, mint state 62. So this gives me two mint state 62s that I can put side by side. And it's really not a huge, what I'd say, a pool of grading examples to compare, but it gives you an example of, does this 62 look like that 62? Because I always like to do that. I'm always doing those comparisons. We have a 38D, and this one got the details. If you can't see a pattern in these clean coins, I can. Especially the ones that are details. You can see a pattern. They've got a gray, off steel gray look to them. Now, I'm not saying all of them will look like that, because I've got some clean ones that just have clean lines on them, or someone messed with them a little bit, but they're not too bad. They're not harsh, but you can still see the lines, and they look like they're beautiful coins. But like I said, they'll definitely come back problem. Here's a 39, Mint State 64. Now see, this one here looks like it's a little off too, doesn't it? And this is what happens. You go through coins, you look at them, and one's clean, the other one's not, and this one kind of looks like it might be a little clean. It might look like it has a little bit of wear. You know, and you look at the reverse of it, I mean, it's still not quite like the gray ones. It's still not quite like the clean ones I showed you. I mean, this one here, I just kind of look them side by side, maybe kind of compare them here, but they do look very similar. I mean, how do you distinguish? You know, it's an eye thing. I mean, we can look at this really close. Let me focus in on it, and it is so similar to this one. So you're going to have to look for clean lines. I mean, there's a very, very slight separation in these two. And then we'll look at the reverse again. Yeah, I mean, the difference between toning and a clean coin that's toned, that's really close. And when you're looking at them up like that, up close like that in detail, it's hard to tell sometimes. And you notice some things that you don't typically notice when you examine coins like this. This is a Mint State 65, 39D. It's a really nice coin. Then again, though, you know, my camera makes them look pretty close, you know, when it comes to the tone ones. Then we have a 40, Mint State 64, and this is what I like right here, the Blazers. Now, I like tone coins if they're nice and bright or rainbow or, you know, neon, but this here is what I prefer when it comes to these coins, because most of them just don't tone that well. They tone a little darker, like we just saw 3-tone coins. One of them look clean, and the other two kind of look similar to it. You know, that's the reason. Here's another one. This is toned. I prefer not to send them off like this. They don't sell as well. A lot of times they can use a little bit of maybe a dip or a restore. I don't always do it. This one here, I've got the CAC. I like to leave them original if I can. But sometimes it's so unsightly, or I perceive it to be from being exposed to something they shouldn't, and it needs to be removed from the surface. There's a nice coin there. It's 1943. And here's another 1943, Mint State 63. Got some patina on it. I do like this. I still like the coins. It's not that. But there's just something about the bright, frosty white coin that I like really well. Then here's a 1934. And this is in an older Annex holder. You know, these companies, sometimes they go through different ownership, move around. You know, Annex used to be in Ohio, and then it went to Colorado. When they first went to Colorado, I think they changed to these blue labels, and now they use the yellow labels. It's a nice coin, nice patina. I don't mind these holders. It feels good in the hands. Not too bad. And here is a 46S, Mint State 65. And to me, I mean, we've looked at the 63s and the 64s, guys, and I'm I'm just not impressed. I'm not impressed with what I'm seeing here. And here's the reverse. I mean, you're not going to tell me that because this reverse looks almost mark-free that they went ahead and didn't penalize the coin as much. I mean, with all these marks on this coin, I mean, I can get up here close as I can, and you can see it. There's just gashes on it. It's not prettier than some of those 64s I just showed you, and even some of the 63s. I just don't, I'll never understand that. I never will, and I won't accept it, even though I have to accept it in reality. But here we have a 47D Mint State 66, and I want you to look at this coin really close. Now, it's obviously nicer than the 65 I just showed you, by a little bit. And here's the reverse, okay? Now, what I want to show you here, though, is the ICG. Now, this coin here, to me, and I can turn it into light. Let's take a look at it really good here, real close at the high points and the gown. right down the middle. And see if I can get it to focus here for us a little bit better. Then look at the reverse. You know, it's a really nice coin. The reverse is comparable to the PCGS version. And then here is the obverse. Now, can't really see them side by side too much and really get the details on them. To me, that ICG graded coin is a little better than the PCGS 66 here. So what we did was we're accepting offers on the coin because I honestly think that the ICG got it right here. And I think that PCGS is a little more questionable. So some people will say, well, this is a 66 minus. This is a low-end 66, and this would be a medium to plus. I mean, we can do that if you want to, but then let me get some more 66s. I'm going to get some 65s that look better than this 66. So, you know, like I said, it's kind of splitting hairs, but we like doing that in these videos, or at least I enjoy doing it. Now, to be fair, there's something I probably haven't mentioned in my videos when I'm showing these graded coins that don't look the grade, okay? Or at least I pointed out. It doesn't mean they're not the grade, okay? That's my opinion. But my thing is this. I'm using extreme magnification, more magnification they'll ever use at the grading companies for these coins. So we're seeing things that they probably didn't see. I mean, some of this stuff, their eyes probably didn't even pick it up. So that's just to be fair and be honest. I mean, they're not using, you know, 40 times or whatever. I mean, it's just, they don't hardly ever use magnification. And 5x, I think, is maybe even 10x, but I know they're not using more than 10x. So anyways, thanks for watching my latest video. I hope you enjoyed it because I really like these Walking Liberty half dollars. They're really nice coins. So if you like these kind of videos, hit the sub button, hit the bell, and have a great day.